Good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Tonight we have another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards Mage Edition. A new mage in the city is being led to a place where he can find others of his kind. So go ahead, intro first Dimitri, then intro. I'm sorry, I forgot your character's name, Byron.
Castle King.
Castle King.
Castle King.
Because Cyberpunk, FTW.
Precisely. Alright. Dimitri has decided to, because he's a glutton for punishment, go to the museum again. This time he actually delays a little bit. He doesn't go straight up to the VIP lounge, or whatever the heck we call it. He takes a look at the exhibits. They're mostly superstitious garbage, of course, but he's going to take a look at it. Adriana put her time into this, and looks like she did a good job. He'll just be wandering around, much as you see in the picture.
Alright, go ahead with yours.
Castle King will wander out to the building, kind of cautiously. But he will pay the entry fee and head in. How much is the entry fee again?
With the
$35. You can get in, okay?
Question. Since supposedly the people who man the desk are watching for supernaturals, and you're supposed to go to that desk to get the access for the VIP lounge, think there's a chance they might just give him the card?
No.
No, even though he shows up as supernatural?
Because him showing up the supernatural is very... What's what I'm looking for? There are no supernatural guards. They are ordinary citizens. They're not fae, they're not ghouls, they're not mages, they're not werewolves, nothing. They're run-of-the-mill docents and things like that. You know, they're there to properly demonstrate they have to receive authorization from a member from people on the list to give those cards out.
Fair enough, and since I'm not doing that yet, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Alright, so entry fee paid, he comes in.
I'm gonna look at some of the exhibits. If there's a wait, this place is not crowded, right?
Pardon?
The place is not crowded.
At this time, probably not. It's probably very sparse.
Good. Then I will quietly look at the exhibits. Try to look around a little bit while I'm doing so.
I'm going to say, just for the hell of it, Dimitri is standing by a very small exhibit on shrunken heads. And witch doctors and things like that. Because that sounds like something they would have here. He's just looking at it with kind of a expression like, this looks vaguely interesting, but I don't know if I should even believe a word of it. You know, just that expression. And, I mean, he looks like a rather striking individual. He's not excessively handsome or anything, appearance 3, but he's got kind of an air about him, and that ring definitely would get a little attention if anyone takes a close look at it. What does your character look like, offhand?
Probably about 5'7".
Average height?
About 5'6". Has wild hair.
Like, not properly combed or anything, just...
No, like not properly combed, maybe a little bit burnt.
Oh, a little burned.
Yeah, some experiments gone horribly wrong.
Joy. My character's just gonna probably. Do I have to make a smell roll for that, Brett, or am I literally just gonna go get away with that one? Burnt hair.
I'll say singed and burnt hair has a very strong odor. So yeah, you can smell it.
Thank you. Dimitri's just gonna kind of sniff. Did I leave something on fire? Kind of looks around for the source of the smell.
I'm gonna take out one. Write down any ideas I get for a defensive idea. Because it's costly to look around.
Beg pardon?
I was thinking to myself is with the big Google. How many people are in here right now? What is our curiosity?
I think Brett said it's fairly light as far as population goes at the moment.
Yeah, it is. Oh, by the way, either of you two have any type of sensory power up?
Not activated.
Okay.
Just
Activated.
basic awareness.
Okay, give me an awareness roll then.
Okay, let me pull my sheet up. I always forget to. Alright, let me see if it'll actually let me roll it on here. If not, I'll have to ask you to roll it for me, unless you want to take my word for it.
What did what else?
I can roll for people. Hold on.
It's showing up.
Okay.
What
And
is
I
it?
botched.
Yeah, you think that everything is awesome.
Cool, I
There's
love
absolutely
this.
nothing wrong with the world right now.
Sweet.
It's perception awareness.
5 then.
Do you need me to roll the dice for you?
Yes.
Alright. 1 success. There are active wards all over this building, and they are mage wards. You can't get the resonance off it. You didn't get enough successes, but you can tell that there are mage wards all over the building.
Alright, I'm gonna
Because
go.
Arthur literally finished that tonight.
Cool, he must have done it before. He probably did it before the Chang scene, then, I'm guessing.
No, he did it after the Ching scene.
Or, no, yeah, after. That's what I mean. Yeah. Because otherwise,
Because he basically he would have been doing it in the other rooms while you guys were doing your scene, but he
That makes
finished
sense.
up and went right to go talk to Becker. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go to. Can I find one of these wards?
they're all over the building. Like literally, you're standing in a web of warding.
Yeah, it's not like there's a center of it near you. It's
Yeah.
just it's flowing around the entire place. But
Yeah, and unless you have an active, like if you have a prime side up or Watch the Weaving up, you can't really tell what they're about.
since you don't have Prime, you're lucky to just feel it.
I'm gonna look at the votes and see what I got.
And nothing that'll pick up Prime, I can tell you.
Yeah, I'm seeing 2. Yeah.
At this point, I'm going to assume Dimitri has actually located the origin of the smell.
Yeah.
Okay, just kind of look. I'll give Byron a second to look up what he's looking up.
No problem.
Nothing. I don't get anything useful. I was trying to see if I got a vote that would let me, a
Yeah.
vote or fail something that would help me. No.
Not really, no. You're lucky that you can sense the ward's active.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Prime 1 is a very common thing to learn later on.
Yeah.
Plenty of people to teach it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. In any case, Dimitri kind of looks over at Byron's character, because God forbid I'm not going to call him Castle King, and he walks over to the fellow and just kind of raises an eyebrow and just like, do you realize you smell like you've been sleeping near a bonfire?
Ah. Uh. 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 Hi.
He just kind of raises an eyebrow at that sort of stammering outburst. Hi. It's like not sure what to make of him yet.
Yeah, caught a little bit on fire. Failed experiment.
Huh. I've dabbled a bit in that sort of thing myself, so that's understandable, I guess. I just thought you might want to know if you weren't already aware of it. In any case, just kind of shrugs a little bit and kind of like excuses himself for a moment, since you can tell he's making the guy distressed at the moment, and plus he doesn't know enough to make any guesses yet. Kind of steps away, and I'm going to say he tries to distance himself in the crowd a little bit. Not that there is a crowd, so we're probably several exhibits over. Is there a roll that I would make to like try and sneakily pull out my goggles and check them out with the prime sight?
It'd be Dex stealth.
Yay! Not subterfuge? Oh, stealth. Yeah, it makes sense for hiding. Okay.
Subterfuge is verbal or emotional hiding. You're trying to do something physical.
Good point. Failure! You notice him.
You see the weird guy with the black suit is pulling out goggles.
Very well, I will look at him. And hold on, I tap my glasses. My sunglasses.
He wears sunglasses at night.
Yeah. Well, with me, I'm gonna have a sounder for this, like one of those fake sounders. I sound against it.
It's all good.
I'm trying to find a vote for it.
What are you trying to check on him?
What's that called? I don't know. I want to see if I can find out what he is.
That's with what you have, I think you can get
The most you can get off of him. That won't work.
core entropy. I don't know.
With entropy, the only thing he could do is inspect your pattern for weaknesses, if he had that.
I have weaknesses? Never! I am impregnable! Yeah. No.
Clear your dice, dude.
Oh, sorry.
No problem.
I'm gonna just keep looking at this wood. I will try to draw it out, so I can try to study it later.
Well, you can sense the words are around you, but you cannot actually physically see them.
So I'm gonna keep looking at whatever I was looking at beforehand.
Okay.
The shrunken heads.
There's quite a selection.
Ooh.
Many varieties. Yours for the price of 1 yen. No. Okay. Well, Dimitri, since he doesn't realize if he's been stealthy enough, I assume, to pull this off or not, he's just gonna sneak a quick peek at the guy. crime site, of course. I'll make
Yep.
the roll. 1 success.
He has quintessence in his aura, or in his pattern. He's actively holding quintessence in his pattern.
Can I extend the roll to find out anything else? Like how much?
You made one
anything else?
success. If keep in mind, the more you do, the more it's going to come back on you.
What do you mean?
Like you're trying to do this in a sneaky manner, and you've already failed at being sneaky.
Okay.
So, if you don't care that he's gonna see you, then do it.
Well, he doesn't seem to be paying attention is the thing. He's looking at the shrunken heads now.
Okay, go ahead.
The evil sunken heads.
And the weird dude's still staring at you with goggles on now.
Now he's fiddling with the goggles. 3 more successes, unless the difficulty went up, and then still 3 more successes.
You're fine. He's holding 5 quintessence in his pattern. He has a static pattern, and that's about all you're gonna get. Besides the fact that he's awakened.
Static resonance, and he's holding quintessence, and he's made. Okay, that's more than enough information. He powers down the goggles and shuts them off again. Damn novelty toys. Then he's just gonna he just kind of shakes his head like, God, why am I meeting the new people again? He doesn't say that, he's just thinking that to himself. Then again, with that much, energy, this guy may not be new. He may be one of the people he hasn't met in the city, which would be very interesting. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, sorry, I just gotta keep my voice down a little bit. Okay, so he's going to walk over towards Byron's character. Just kind of clear his throat a little bit.
That's fine.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back. Technical difficulties. I'll clear my dice. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Okay.
Alright. He walks over towards Byron and Byron's character and promptly says, I think you're actually in the wrong part of the museum.
Oh, huh? Okay. Is that some kind of a museum I'm supposed to be in?
Okay. Sorry, guys. He just kind of shakes his head a little bit. It's perfectly all right. If you're new to the area, I can clear this up for you. If you come with me to the entrance, we can get you your pass. He just kind of nods his head towards where he would have bought his tickets.
Okay. Well, did it cost me anything?
Nope. It's complimentary.
Okay.
He just lead you over there and just very quietly speaks to the person, using whatever they're supposed to say. Just he has he should have a VIP pass, and presumably they're issued a blank plastic card, right, Brett?
Yeah.
Okay. And with that, he hands the card to him and says, "Let me show you to where the lounge is." He would take you to an elevator, which is marked, I think, staff only or something like that, and uses the card to open the elevator. Goes inside, and he's waiting for you to join him, obviously.
I walk in the elevator.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just putting my headset on. I do apologize for the delay, folks.
No problem.
Okay, so essentially, he goes into the elevator. They're going to make their way up to the VIP lounge and then take a look around, examine what's there. From what I understand, it's just, comfy chairs, couches, well-stocked kitchenette, that sort of thing. Newspapers.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else I know about the place. I don't know if there's anything secret there.
This is quite interesting. Tasting up here.
He just kind of shakes his head a little bit. No, it's quite all right. We have once he steps out of the elevator, he just kind of gestures around. We can speak a little bit more freely here. There are too many prying ears downstairs. Are you new to the city by chance?
Yeah.
Then,
I just entered the city a day ago.
Well, since you recently arrived to the city, I'll explain a little bit. First, there's someone you should definitely get in touch with as soon as possible. I'm not really equipped to be fielding, shall we say, new entrants to the city, but since you are of the same group as myself, so to speak, I can make an exception. He pulls out a piece of paper, writes down a number. You'll want to speak to this man. Let him know you're new to the city.
Okay.
He's giving him Arthur's number.
Okay.
And he says, "I'll give him a call right now and let him know. For the record, are you part of the traditions? If so, are you..." He's obviously seeking more information.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm. Oh, what was it? SPA?
Virtual adepts is what they're
Virtual
called.
adept,
That
yeah.
character.
I had to look it up again. I am a virtual adept.
We've got one of those in town. I think we had another at one point. Nathan will be pleased to see another of his kind in the city, I'm sure. All right. What did you say your name was?
Castle King.
He just kind of looks at you at that. He gives you this sort of level stare.
I just give him back a straight look. Like nothing's wrong.
He just shakes his head. He's like, "Each to their own." One moment. He, actually, if Brett's okay with this, he pulls out his phone and calls Arthur up real fast.
Arthur picks up. Dimitri, what happened now?
Oh, no, you can cease the panicking, calm your memories. Yes, he did just say that.
I really need to smoke more weed. What's going on?
we've got another tradition mage in town. I managed to see him before anyone else did. I'm here at the museum, Adriana's place. I did a little cursory inspection. He says his name is. There's a moment of hesitation, and you can almost hear the grimace in his voice. Castle King. He's an adept.
At least they stopped calling themselves Neo. I
Quite,
was
or
trying to-
Trinity, or Morpheus, or any of that.
Yeah.
And of course, Byron, you can hear all of this.
I was giving a red pill.
Just check this
I
out.
was trying to get in touch with Dartmouth, but he's not returning my calls, so I can come meet him if you'd like.
If you would like, we're simply sitting here passing a little bit of time. I was going to explain to him the basics of look first, don't shoot.
Right. All right, I'm on
He
my way.
says, I'll see you here shortly then.
Yep.
All right. And with that, he will at that point hang up the phone and look back towards Castle King, or CK as I'll probably wind up referring to him.
Yeah.
He says, Arthur will be here before too long. He's the... officially, he's our speaker. He's is sort of a local dignitary position. He is responsible for us and has some slight authority to enforce anything that happens.
Interesting.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So where are you from? What, I guess, is it a caste, I guess it's called? Not caste,
He just kind of raises an eyebrow.
Are you trying to think of his... Never mind, I'll let you try to work it out.
Tradition! Hold on, wait, hold on, let me just, can you roll my, intelligence?
Oh, God.
What's your
Forgot the
intelligence?
word tradition.
Let's see what's my intelligence.
I think you had it out of 4.
Yeah,
Smart.
4.
Okay. Do you have a spec? What's your spec?
Oh, yeah, what'd you pick?
Obviously not good memory.
That wouldn't apply in this case.
Oh, shoot, I didn't write down my
Book learning
spec.
Oh, didn't you take analytical?
I think so.
Okay, it would not apply anyways.
Okay.
And, well, fuck me. You didn't fail, but you didn't succeed. So your mind wanders off.
You're just like, what was I talking about?
Huh?
Yeah, Dimitri just kind of takes pity on you this time. He's like, if you mean what group I belong to,
What? Oh, that's nothing?
yes.
Yeah, yes.
At him levelly again, like clearly questioning the man's sanity at this point. Look, the things are a little different in this city. We have sort of a understanding, which Arthur will be able to explain more of when he arrives, with the other, I guess you would call them night folk of the city.
Okay.
So, unlike how we might operate in another place, if you see a vampire or a werewolf or one of those things, try not to antagonize them. Definitely don't get into a fight with them. We're supposed to be on the same side, so to speak. There's sort of a organization referred to as the
I'll write this
Tarot
down.
My character just looks at you writing down. She's like, can't you possibly remember that? It's rather sensitive.
I can try.
And Dimitri's just thinking to himself, this is going to end so poorly. He sends Arthur a text, which I assume Arthur's going to get before he gets there. He just texts him.
Because Arthur's walking.
Yep, he's going to text him and say, do you have anything to improve memory?
Depends. Is it something Ginkgo biloba can fix?
I have no idea. I think he needs pharmaceuticals.
Unfortunately, right now, the only approved method of helping memory is Ginkgo biloba. I don't know if it'll work, but I think I'm about to find out. I'm coming in through the back door out now.
Thank you. And with that, he closes his phone again. My apologies. He'll be here very shortly.
Excellent.
Don't your kind have, I don't know, smartphones and things like that? Wouldn't that be slightly more secure than writing it down with the
Oh, yeah.
paper?
Right. But a smartphone? I remember my password, right?
Yes, we determined you do remember your passwords and things. It's part of your computer skill.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Owned, repeatedly owned.
I will quickly type it, open my phone and type it in.
It helps that your password is admin. Anyways, okay, so he'll just nod as he'll repeat the basic information he just gave you. He says, well, each of the groups is referred to as something different. The vampires are referred to as the House of Staves. He'll let you write it down. The werewolves and other were creatures are the House of Swords. The mages are House of Pentacles. And then there's the House of Cups, which are the... And he just, closes his eyes and just grits his teeth. The fairies. He's just saying it I can't believe I'm saying this again.
Fairies.
You'll hear a ding from the elevator, and... Okay, so... Trying to best describe it. Looking fatigued, you'll see Arthur. The first thing that should be obvious about this guy that it's not right is that there's a wolf following him into the lounge. Second thing that should make it obvious there's something not right about this guy. His hair and his eyes are pure silver. If you could take liquid silver and inject it into somebody's eyes in place of their irises and then pour it over their head, that's what it would look like as far as Arthur goes.
That's interesting.
He's carrying 2 bags over his shoulders, and he's wearing light blue denim jacket, a silver t-shirt, and blue jeans, as well as combat boots. So he'll walk over to Dimitri, set down his bags, one of which smells very heavily like marijuana, and look at the two of you.
Dimitri is just yes, I just finished explaining the 4 houses, and oh yes, the eastern vampires are, I think we call them the hosts, Quajin. It's their city. We're cooperating with them. Currently, there's several problems dealing with many things. I'm sure I could just leave you to the news sites and you could figure out most of them for yourself. But short version, and he just kind of looks at Arthur like, don't worry, I'm not going to get into the personal politics, would be the technocracy. They're the biggest threat by far.
Always.
More so here than in most other places, as I'm uniquely suited to know.
There's a wall surrounding the city that you probably came in through, which is fine, but if you try to go back out through it, you'll be incinerated.
Oh.
The only safe way out is through the airport flying east or by boat.
He just kind of looks and says, wait, the airport still works?
Yeah, kind of has to, or else it'd be a big thing. Unfortunately, I mean, it works again now that the blood plague is over, but they're still very careful about who flies out.
So sneaking through there is probably not going to happen for most people.
No,
Understood.
It's also mostly private planes that are able to afford the fees to leave.
Understood. Well, he just kind of shakes his head a little bit. I think, there are, as I said, they are the biggest threat at the moment, though I believe there's something to do with he kind of, like, uses air quotations, the restless dead. He's like, no.
At which point, Arthur will reach into one of his bags, pull out a blunt, and light it. And if you guys you already know what this smells like, but if you've ever smelled like the best weed in the world, this outstrips it by far.
Interesting.
Yeah. He just falls back into a chair, ashes the blunt into a smokeless ashtray, and takes another drag off of it.
Do you have a place to stay in the city yet? You'll need to be cautious.
I will. Maybe.
Oh dear God.
Am I playing the Silver Optimus? The Shy Optimus? I apologize if I am. I mean, I'll get that in this.
It's a 1-point flaw. I mean, it gives you a really big penalty if you're the center of attention, which you are in this case. But that's a Brett thing, honestly. What do you think, Brett?
Yeah, your shy is kicking in a little bit, so you're probably stammering. Maybe even having trouble remembering things.
Okay. The two are, yeah, you think your shyness is a problem. You're not sure. You don't remember what it was like last time. Lovely how these are tying together. He'll just shake his head like, so he just looks over at Arthur. Do you have any of that, whatever it was you said?
Arthur will reach into the other
Dear God,
bag.
is it contagious?
Arthur will reach into the other bag, pull out looks like a pill bottle, open it up, shake out about 2 amber-looking pieces of medicine, and hand them to Castle King. Take them.
Okay, I'll take them.
It's ginkgo biloba. It should help your memory.
And I'm guessing if there were any mechanical impact, it's not going to cure it. It would just be like a -1 difficulty to his roll or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
However, I will also state that Arthur's close to you guys, and it's very strong weed.
Fun.
Oh, joy. Yeah, Dimitri's gonna like kind of take a half step back. Well,
What do I step back for?
yeah, he's just like trying to step away from the cloud.
Sorry, it's been a stressful day.
No, quite all right, quite all right.
I've had to convince the shifters not to claim this place as their own. I still need to talk to Dartmouth and pull the stick out of his ass.
And
I
hopefully...
I still need to talk to Jolie about his wayward hostmate, who apparently, as like you said, is trying to hunt down Shar and beat him to death.
I don't... He just kind of looks at you like, if it weren't for the fact that this fellow is probably going to forget that you said that, I would be very annoyed with you right now. You do realize that that's not something I want to advertise. Loose lips sink ships and often get people's throats cut.
Arthur's going to look at Castle King, pull out a blunt and toss it to him. Light it. Smoke it.
Just do it.
It'll
like,
help.
Dimitri's looking at you, just like, do it.
It'll help your shyness. Trust me.
Okay. He must light it up.
This is the best weed ever, and if you had any physical impairments or physical wounds, they'd be healed. If you drank any alcohol or any other poisons, it'd be cleansed from your body. At the same time, you are high off of the first drag, and you're extremely relaxed.
And with your absent-mindedness, you're probably forgetting your own name right now.
Oh boy.
I mean, maybe not that bad, but it would be noticeable. Okay, so while he's out of the picture for a moment, and that's actually what Dimitri says, he's just like, all right, just try to remember. I don't want that to become public knowledge. Handle it with discretion if you can, because if it instantly comes out that everyone knows, Cheng did not strike me as an unintelligent individual. He can put two and two together.
Right.
And I don't think I want him to want
So
any
far, the only one
harm.
I've told is Becker, and she's the extremely tight-lipped type of person.
Becker already has enough on me. I'm not worried about that.
She doesn't know you were involved.
I'm just saying, I'm not worried about her knowing. Though,
Right.
Thank you for not telling her, I suppose. One less person, that's better. In any case, so he kind of shakes his head. I get the feeling I'm going to wind up... He's like shakes his head. He's like looking over at Castle King. Like you can tell there's a glimmer of almost... Yeah, I'm going to let you roll perception empathy because he's not trying to hide this right now. He's like thinking.
Me?
But no, I'm saying Brett. Have Arthur roll perception empathy.
Let's see.
I'm pretty sure that CK is completely oblivious right now.
3 successes.
He's looking at CK kind of the way that a meat eater looks at a buffet.
Dude, what are you doing? Don't think it.
He's just like, the other adept lives with me.
Let him be his own person regardless, okay?
I'll just let him stay the night. How about that? Keep him off the streets. He can talk to Nathan. And if he can find a place and remember where the hell it is, more power to him.
Right.
I'm not going to put a shock collar around his neck and throw him into the lab.
I
God
can never
knows
tell
that'll make his
sometimes.
memory straight.
Whatever happened to that Baumgartner guy? Because I haven't seen him around.
He just kind of grimaces. I think he may have had a last resort device implanted in his head.
Oh God, I thought you guys were careful about that shit.
I actually had fully intended to inspect him within a day or two.
No, I mean keeping him under wraps.
I thought we were. He only left the place once, and I was with him. Perhaps he was indiscreet before he arrived? I don't know. I mean, he's New World Order. I would have thought that was New World Order. I would assume that wasn't the case. I don't believe that they could have traced where the explosive was. I don't believe it was a tracking device. From what I could tell from the shrapnel, it was most likely just a blanket signal. They probably sent it over the entire city.
Arthur
There
will look
wasn't
a little
much left.
sick at that. Arthur will look a little sick at that. The shrapnel. That's pleasant. That's pleasant.
He just kind of shrugs like it's an insurance policy as far as they're concerned. I don't have any, if you're even slightly concerned, and neither does Asuka. We don't have the sort of sordid history that Mr. Baumgartner had.
Right. I'm sure.
And if we did, fortunately, we have the skills to actually take those things out.
You know,
If
I
it ever
swear,
becomes
if
useful
one
in
more
the future.
thing goes wrong, I'm just gonna walk to the moon and watch the city burn down. That's the kind of night I'm having.
Oh, come on, it could be worse.
You know Charlie, right? I think you know Charlie, right?
Wait, out of character, do I know Charlie?
This is Arthur in character.
I know, I'm saying out of character. Who's I'm trying to remember.
I thought you had a see. It's James's guru. I thought you had a scene with him.
James is in Reuben?
James's guru character. James is in Reuben as sandwiches.
I don't think so. Out of character, I'm pretty sure I didn't.
Okay, then Arthur's
If
just
it
like,
turns out I'm wrong, assume I'm retconning that, but I don't think so.
okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter. You probably would have met him like briefly, or if you did ever meet him, which is possible you didn't. He's a friend of mine. He's Riker's cousin. You heard what happened to Riker, right? I mean, you know what happened to Riker. Everybody's figured out what happened to Riker, even though the
It
official
wasn't
report is-
announced, but given his estate's being sold, it kind of begs the obvious.
Well, according to the official playbook, he died in a car crash.
Wonderful. Good to
His
know
cousin-
that the Fae folk have a sense of humor.
His cousin was a shifter by the name of Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
You know how I am with spirits, how I am with healing, that sort of thing. He was that version of that for them. He's one of the first people I met when I came to the city besides Michael and Jason. And he's gone.
I'm detecting the past tense.
He's disappeared into the Umbra. Apparently, looking for a spirit that is not the most unfriendly spirit possible, if you know the right people. But he didn't. And he's been gone for about a week now.
Huh.
How out of it am I, Connie?
What'd you say?
How out of it clearly am I?
Has your character ever gotten high before?
No.
You're blitzed. You don't even get a stamina roll. Your brain is just melted.
Don't
I'll
worry,
just
we'll
sit
pick.
down and meditate.
Yeah.
My character will just slide you a newspaper and just watch you do things to the newspaper out of complete.
Arthur looks at him and he's just like, yeah, right, like that'll work. Anyway,
Just
I
he
sent
just shit. Sure, go ahead.
I sent an eagle spirit to find him like I did the last time this sort of thing happened, but
No luck this time.
I just sent him. Took Eagle about 3 days to find the last person.
Well, perhaps you'll have some luck with this one, but. I will say, it seems like there's been a lot of that going around lately. Makes me wonder if I should buy a life insurance policy.
I don't think you can get coverage. Not without getting found out by your former allies.
Hey, quick arcade question.
Sure.
The cups were the fairies, right? Who were the dependents?
The pentacles are the mages.
Which is us.
And the swords was
The
who?
shifters.
Werewolves.
Well, all shifters.
Werewolves and other shit. Yeah.
What about vampires?
Staves.
Staves.
Or wands, depending upon which edition, but staves according to the tarot card.
And then there's the hosts, which are the
Making
equation.
a note in journals.
Yeah, blue booking is going to be especially important for you.
Especially important.
Yeah, because those notes are like pretty much your lifeline to things that you know.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, as it is, he's gonna look at his pocket later and find Arthur's number and be like, "Who the hell is this?" Probably remember he'll remember once he talks to you, but you know.
I'm probably gonna make a note of it in my thing here.
Well, you would have, except we just made you like go, to the moon.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Luckily, the other notes were already written down. Anyways, he just says, "All right, so to keep this brief, then I'll take this fellow back my way. You know where he is, so he'll be safe. I'll make sure Nathan knows he's here and see if I can get the two to sit down. I don't.
That'd be nice. Maybe they actually know each other, though. This guy would probably not remember.
Yes, Nathan would, though. I believe he seems to have his
Yeah.
head screwed on a little bit tighter. But yes, we'll see. We'll see what happens. In any case, he's thinking about asking something. He's like, So what's being planned about this undead issue with the ghosts?
Well, Jolie seems to think that if we can manufacture some fetters, that we can convince Ping not to, or at least to delay his little excursion while we
Excursion.
excursion being his hunt, and lead them back towards what we are supposed to be doing, which is bringing down Sam in the northern cemetery.
I normally would hesitate to even say something like this, but has it crossed anyone's mind other than mine that the other way to accelerate the issue would be to help him find his target? Hopefully, with
the thing is that Dartmouth seems to think that there's no way that these two did it, that it was somebody dressed up as them, or using illusions, or possibly even changing themselves completely, which is possible.
I'll say two things to that. One, we're talking about someone who's already done, well, he drew a dagger in the Emerald Mother. That doesn't strike me as a particularly reserved thing to do, so I'd say it's possible he did it. Definite? No. Is there a chance someone altered or fabricated evidence? Quite possible. It would suit our enemy's purpose to cause dissension in our ranks, but there are two things we can do to fix that. One, question the person. Two, do our own investigations.
Well, I talked to Becker because naturally I thought of the Gru have too much respect for life and nature to do shit like this. It could be part of it could be a BSD thing. I don't know. I'll ask Walks later. I had enough to do trying to keep him from trying to claim the museum as his own domain. Anyway, Becker seems to think that apparently there are vampires that can project that can project their presence onto video cameras as something other than what they actually look like. It just requires a great amount of mental effort to the point where they wouldn't be able to do what they did if they were trying to do that as well. The other thing is that apparently there's another group of vampires that can manipulate flesh, like Celeste. And if
you realize that all of those things could be circumvented with enough, shall we say, lenses.
Right. The flesh manipulators, however, may not have been able to do what he actually did. If it was someone like Celeste's fire was green, not normal looking. So, and it would only target specific spots and then vanish. It would not stay and rage out of control. Trust me, I've been hit by it before. It's not pleasant.
Let me do some asking around. There are several people in the warehouse at the moment who might be able to lend a little bit of advice on this matter. If I come up with anything concrete, for all we know, this fellow might, but I don't know if he'd remember anything about it.
I will say one thing, though, before you go any further. I talked to Johnny Buccarati of Clan Giovanni. He's a member of the House of Staves and is an expert at necromancy, which primarily deals with... Yeah, he's an okay guy. I think it's something that has to do with his family's bloodline or something like that. Anyway, he knows a lot about wraiths, and he said that there are certain things that certain wraiths can do if they have a possession of those. It doesn't have to be magical, it doesn't have to be imbued or anything like that, but if that was on their person and they used it, they formed an attachment to it, and the wraiths can trace these attachments.
That's a common theory, actually, though, if you're familiar. Psychometry uses something similar to that, but you usually have to be more attached to the item.
Yeah.
That sounds like a superior version of it.
Yeah, it would depend on how much emotion the wielder was using when he had the item. So let's say that he was in a fit of rage when he set the fire and dropped something they'd been holding at the time. It would have created a imprint. Johnny thinks that if there was such a thing, that if this was done in anger, if this was done in rage, if this was done or purely out of amusement, if there was enough of emotional energy imbued into the item, if the wraiths do have it, this is all based upon Flicker Flame, if it was him, being a complete and utter dumbass and leaving behind something of his. Then
again, there is the possibility that Nathan, or possibly even Ava, might have the ability, or this fellow, might have the ability to investigate. I'm not suggesting we show up at the place, because I believe it's still going to be watched for quite some time.
All right.
But,
well, Jolie was there, and he said that he saw Jolie and Cheng were there, from what Jolie told me, investigating the situation. Apparently the place is specter-ridden. He said that they talked to spirits as best they could, but they were unrelenting, unable to be consoled. Anyway, when he was leaving after investigating with Mr. Chang, who I have yet to meet, would be kind of nice to meet more of the hosts, to be on good terms with them if possible.
He's a little bit of a cold fish, fair warning.
I've dealt with cold fishes before. Anyway, they saw a Hong Kong PD strike team nearby.
With or without suits?
Without the suit. But there's no way of knowing how close it was.
No, they could be anywhere. That's not a good sign, but it's not surprising, the circumstances. That is actually most likely an indicator that they are not involved directly and are simply keeping an eye on the event.
Right.
Likely a surveillance team of some kind.
Anyway,
That's not my
you
forte.
got the
but
you got the mass text I sent out, right?
the one, he kind of looks at his phone. Yes, I got that one.
All right. Try to. He's gonna look over it.
CK.
He's gonna look over at CK, who's blazed out of his mind. I probably should have given him the mild shit.
Yes, I think he went a little overboard, but he'll be happier for the experience, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I
I'm
might
sure.
be able to find something to sober him up back home.
All right.
Oscar
Make
keeps
sure that
some very
he
strong coffee.
knows about it, and do please try to not get involved with. I see so many things going badly, and I saw what Ping could do, and I saw what Chloe could do, and those are the only two races I've seen do anything, and it did not look friendly.
I'll be quite honest. I don't have the ability to access anything to do with ghosts, spirits, and the like. In case you forgot, or in case I forgot to tell you, I failed dimensional science.
Well, I can't exactly teach you either, but the one thing I will say, Ping is walking around in his old body, which means that if he does anything, you'll see it, and it's not going to be pretty. Do you know what Oblivion is?
As a metaphorical concept, I suppose, the absolute cessation of matter and existence.
Yeah. Think of it as a actual flowing event in the Shadowlands that will suck things in and either obliterate them or transform them into monsters.
Some sort of corrupted anti-everything.
It's basically Nietzsche. The more I look into the abyss, the more the abyss looks into me.
Mm-hmm.
There are, from what I understand, specters are what happen to race when they spend too much time in Oblivion and lose all their fetters. But there are wraiths that can channel Oblivion into a form of attack, and Chloe was able to do this. Think about what would happen. And not only that, but she had the ability to manifest herself and make it effective in the real world too, not just in the Shadowlands, but in what they refer to as the Skinlands. I really need to sit down with Michael. He's the resident lore expert. He might know more about this shit than I do.
Well, I will try and keep ourselves out of trouble. Trust me, we're not going to walk over there with a bunch of, Ghostbusters outfits trying to sniff around. I know how to be discreet, and
just try to remember that Chloe, in her mortal life, punched Jason's van and knocked it for loops, and kicked me in the ribs and broke them with a psychic. No problem, man. I'm sorry that we basically took you out of the scene. I feel bad. I wish I'd never come in.
It's okay. We can actually end the scene just about here, honestly.
Yeah, I have to go to bed anyway. Arthur, at this point, is just going to say, stay away from Chloe, stay away from Sam, stay away from Ping, stay away from his people. Don't get involved with Flicker Flame. I don't care what he's done to who or what. If the Fae are going to be dicks about it and keep it in-house, then they can deal with it when they've got wraiths punching them in the face.
Look, if you want him tracked down at some point, say the word, but until I get orders from you to do that, I'm not going to.
Well,
I will, however, check to see if it was him at the graveyard. I can do that discreetly.
If you can, that would be appreciated. And if you need any assistance in that manner, you can ask me or ask other people for help.
Given my personal connection to the matter, it might not be a bad idea to have a observer with a unimpeachable reputation. I'm not even sure if you qualify for that one, no offense.
No problem. Master DeSalle, the only one I can think of who won't fuck over your paradigm when you're doing it.
Most likely, yes. We'll figure that out at a later date, though.
Yeah.
And with that, he goes to help the guy out of the building
and
carefully.
Arthur will just collapse on the couch and wonder why he ever came to Hong Kong in the first place. And we'll go and end the scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. If we had any watchers, I'm not sure if we did. This has been another edition of Hong Kong House of Cards, where everything goes wrong and the points don't matter. Have a good night.